Today's video involves the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power. How's it going, everybody? I'm Steven from Retro, and today we are doing a video based around the Nintendo Entertainment System. If you're new to collecting games for the NES, this video will give you an idea of some of the best games to own for the system, and they are all relatively inexpensive. This is kind of like a starter's guide to collecting games for the system. So I have a selection of 6 games that I think are all amazing games, and I think that these games are games that I definitely think that if you're new to collecting for the NES, you should buy day one when you get your system. So the first game I'm going to start off with is the original Metroid. This is one of my favorite platformer shooters on the console. It has the tight, awesome platforming controls that Mario introduced, but it also has awesome shooting controls. This game is really fun, it provides a nice challenge, and it's one of the better platformer shooters on the system. So definitely recommend. Kid Icarus. Now, what does this have in common with Metroid? They're both platformer shooters. But the thing with Kid Icarus is that it's a different time setting, and it plays a little bit differently than Metroid. Kid Icarus definitely has a lot more vertical combat in terms of how it's played. It seems like you're always climbing. But it's in that old medieval kind of, I would say, ancient Greek kind of setting. And this is where the character pick comes from. If you've ever played Super Smash Bros. And didn't know where it came from, this is the game it comes from. So this game, highly recommend. It's another one of the awesome, Nintendo games on the NES. So, now next up, the Super Mario Bros. Series. I absolutely love the Super Mario Bros. Series, specifically Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. It's the original platformer on the NES. The first one is what made the NES popular. And the third one, it's just awesome and did everything the first one did, but better. So these games, definitely gotta get these. If you're into platformers, get them. If you own an NES, get them, because you should own them if you own an NES, at least the first one. But still, the third one is a must-own as well. Couldn't recommend these games any higher than I already can. Super Mario Bros. 3 is probably my favorite NES game of all time. So, right next to Zelda, it's hard to pick. Next up, I have The Legend of Zelda. Now, what makes The Legend of Zelda so special? Well, it's the original action-adventure game. It's the original fantasy action-adventure game. You play a character named Link, who's supposed to save Hyrule from the evil clutches of Ganondorf. So basically, you get a sword, and you get thrown into this world, and you gotta figure it out on your own. You gotta find secrets, beat dungeons, and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely, at the time when it came out, it was definitely unlike anything that was already on the system. That's what made it so popular. So this game, you gotta get it, and it's in that iconic gold cartridge. You just can't beat the original Zelda. This is what started the awesome franchise, and it's by far one of the best Zelda titles. Finally, it's time to introduce a game that will test you to your limits. If you are a player and you want the most challenging platforming experience you can get on the original NES, look no further than Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden 2, it is hard. It's not like this isn't it's a good game, but it's not a game where it's gonna be easy to get through in a night. This is a game that will test your platforming skills. You have to have precise timing and jump at the right times, and make sure you have the right power-ups, and be observant of your surroundings, because this game will kick your ass if you don't pay attention. This game by far is one of my favorites. It's very rewarding when you beat it, but it's very, very hard, so keep that in mind. So Ninja Gaiden 2, definitely recommend as well. So, these 6 games for the original NES, if I can hold all these up, these games are a good starting point to get into an NES collection. If you're new to the NES console and you don't know what to collect, then look no further than these 6 titles. These will give you a good basis of games to start your collection. They're all awesome and fun, and most importantly, they're all classics and they're not super expensive. They're not going to break the bank. You can find them on Amazon or eBay, or if you go to your local game shop. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to help support the channel for future videos. I will see you guys in the next video.